Round one, fight!
The Grim Reaper Gamers are a 25 and over gaming community with members spanning the globe, playing games across all genres, but our roots are in first-person shooters. Bring your thick skin, drink of choice, and grab your controllers. GRG members are on nightly with official community nights every Wednesday. And now, it's time for the ReaperCast. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Grim Reaper Gamers ReaperCast. I'm back after a short absence, and I want to thank Jack and Jammer for both handling duties very well. Jammer, good job hosting. Jack, good job as usual. Had a good show. And Grumpy, want to thank you for being the third chair on last 2 weeks ago show, actually. I always want to say last week's, even though we only do this bi-weekly for now.
That's because the fans demand that we do it weekly.
Who did that?
I'm just making that up.
Okay. All right. So, going around the horn, you've already heard Jammer's voice. As usual, he is chair number 2. Did a great job last week hosting. I can't give him too much shit about that. So, Jammer, how the hell are you? What you playing? What you drinking?
Hey, John. I'm drinking Stella. Did you have a good time off during the?
Yeah. You know what? I can't even remember what the hell I was doing. Was it a?
I don't know.
It was a concert.
Did you happen to do any shopping? Like since the last show you were on?
No.
Did you happen to have any product in your cart that you almost checked out with?
I didn't even know. I wasn't even close. I wanted to see if I could get to the cart without it being sold out.
What was it?
It was a Switch.
So there was a Nintendo Switch in your cart.
Long enough for me to remove it.
But you took the time to take it from the shelf and lift it into the cart.
It was online. It wasn't in an actual shopping cart.
Wait, so okay, now this is very important because our audience is very concerned. There's a mega lies thread for crying out loud about you.
Oh, for crying out loud.
What was the process that had a Switch in your hand, even though you did not purchase it? At least that's what you've told us. For the fuck I know, there might be a Switch behind you right now.
It was on website. It's on the website. That cart, a virtual cart.
You buy stuff online in Nebraska?
Of course.
Oh, okay. There's probably a Switch in the fucking background that I can't just see right now.
There is not. I have not bought anything. Like I said, no third-party support right now.
But you did put one in your cart.
Any use. Yeah, I was just seeing if it'd show up and if I could get in there and get it in the cart before it sold out.
Oh,
then I removed it.
Well, I do that all the time. There's a couple times like, brand new Mercedes or whatever, and it just, I just put it in the cart to see if it's going to show up or not. So I get it. But I missed you, John.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Who the fuck just put something in their cart to see if it shows up or not? Jack, help me.
Yeah, I have nothing here. I don't know.
The reason why I was going to do is I was going to take a screenshot of it in the cart just to fuck with you all.
It sounds like he has like an addiction issue. He can't resist. He was breaking out in sweats, and his wife said no. So he removed it.
Shit. Nobody was even around when I did it.
I think you did it in the closet by yourself?
No.
I think he was going to buy it, and then he knew the wrath that we would get. And so I think it was us that actually stopped him from buying it.
No, like I said, I was going to get the screenshot and fuck with you guys. And I didn't. I said, screw it after a bit.
He put it
too elaborate as a joke.
He put it in the cart to see if it was still going to be there when he checked out. And by the time he clicked on pay, it was sold out.
Nope.
He's got it on back order now.
I could have hit checkout and gone, but it had bundles on there. I saw it through Twitter.
Okay, well, I screwed up because I talked to Jack rather than you introducing him. But I needed some help there from whatever.
I still don't think you told me what you're playing and what you're drinking.
Huh? I'm drinking Stella and I'm playing games. I'm more concerned about your lies to the audience.
See, you never even answered my damn question.
I'm playing.
All right, so third chair, you've already heard him. Jammer's already spoiled it. Like it's any surprise. He's here every week, every show. He's the grimace of the Reapers. He is the fearless leader. Well, other than Grex. Jack, how the hell are you? What you drinking? What you playing?
I'm trying to get over this cold. I'm being a big baby about it. Currently drinking Flying Fish Farmhouse Summer Ale. It's a local beer from Cherry Hill, New Jersey. And they make a lot of great beers. If you ever see some of their beers, pick up a 6-pack. You'll be really happy. Right now I'm playing, I think I put ESO on the back burner for the last couple weeks. Kind of waiting for the Morrowind expansion to come out. So I've been playing Battlefield 1 as usual. Forza on Sunday nights with GRG. And Battlegrounds, my goodness. I'm drawing a blank. Paladins, my goodness. Yeah. So we've been playing Paladins, getting our butts kicked in that. We're facing some tryhards. It's been pretty crazy lately since it came out. Also, I just want to touch base on that Switch thing. We have one. My kid traded his Wii U in for the Switch. And I gotta say, it's a pretty neat little device. If you want something for mobile gaming, like we went to the Union game and we're waiting for the parking lot to clear out at the end of the night, and we're playing Mario Kart in the car.
He's starting to sweat over there. You see that?
Yeah, I mean it's basically I don't see it as like a console for the TV going to compete against Xbox or PS4, but more of like a competition to like an iPad. So people, how the kids are gaming on iPads or their cell phones. It's more along that, and they'll be able to offer a little bit more with the controllers, the graphics. So it's kind of neat. It was a little bit better than I expected. It's small. So
well, you're helping him because the next show he's going to have it.
Well, I'm trying to tempt him.
If I wanted to play an unsupported handheld, I'd dust off my Vita.
Zelda is excellent. I was watching some of that. I mean, it was so good. I couldn't believe how good. I've never played an RPG like that before, and I was, and then Mario Kart. What can you say about that?
Can't go wrong with Mario Kart.
No,
staple. Yeah, definitely.
I will say this: the controllers, when you have like that little joypad control, and you're like, that is the most awkward, pain in the ass thing to use. It is just, I don't like it one bit. I mean, it'll work, but I'd rather have like a better controller. Anyway, that's like my
we've already gone into the problems with how they're nickel and diming you for all the external shit.
Well, on our next episode, you'll be able to hear John's review of his Switch.
Nope. Nope.
It's really nice. I think you should get one.
If they get good third-party support, I will. But until then, no.
Okay.
That is what I've said before. I mean, I got burned. I already got this goddamn Nintendo paperweight sitting here in my basement.
Yeah, but you've gotten every other paperweight. The Vita. You got a whole shitload of paperweights.
Well, I got the Vita back when I traveled. That actually served a purpose for a little bit until Sony dropped it.
Hold on a second. Guys, you guys are interrupting me. I'm on Ferrari.com. I'm placing an order for my Ferrari. I want to see if they have it in stock.
Put something in the cart.
See if it's in stock. Hold on. Yeah. Looking for the Tom Selleck edition.
Who the fuck does that? Who the fuck does it? That, you know what? I did that with the Xbox One day one launch on Amazon when they released some, and it got in my cart, and then I bought it.
Yeah, but that was a better supported console.
Okay.
All right. We have a little something new. We have an email address for people to email us. It is ReaperCast@GrimReaperGamers.com. So, questions, comments, suggestions. Want to tell Jammer to fuck off? There's your email address. Yeah, you deserved it.
Wow. All this
so
friendship.
Not only does he lie on a regular basis, but now he's being hostile. Last recording, it was a very friendly podcast.
Yeah.
Everybody got along.
We all blessed wins.
Very friendly podcast. Except for the guy missing.
That's not our fault that you had a meeting.
All right, let's talk about community nights. As you all know, Wednesday night is our normal community night. We're moving on.
You sold that really shitty. I think you're fired.
Sold what? The email?
Yeah.
No, go. You're the host. You go ahead.
No, I'm going to mention it several times. I'm going to beat them over the heads with it. That was just one of several mentions.
The emails go directly to John and Jammer.
They go to YouTube.
And Lala told us that he gets them too, but he doesn't probably.
I don't check email. It's like the worst way to get in contact with me.
All right. So community nights, as usual, refer to the events at GrimReaperGamers.com/events for a full schedule. We had Shooter McGavin. What's that?
We have a pretty jam-packed schedule, so definitely look at the calendar.
Shooter McGavin Mondays, playing shooters. Last night, Paladins was on the menu.
Yeah, we
had a pretty good time there.
Yeah, I'm trying to break up the consistent Battlefield 1 nights. We have a lot of guys that play Battlefield 1. We play it almost every night, but I think we kind of need to branch out a little bit. I know I do, and I know we had other people that played other games. So the idea was to do the Monday night shooters, toss in like Overwatch, Paladins, Halo, Titanfall, kind of branch out and play something else on another night, and include those people that normally don't play Battlefield. So the first week we played Overwatch, and then this week we played Paladins. We had a few groups running through that. So
yeah, we had some pretty good groups running through Paladins. I still think we saw some Battlefield guys out there too.
Oh yeah, there was a large group. I think there was like 12 people playing Battlefield. So it was a good turnout. It was a good mix. So pretty much whatever you wanted to play, you should be able to find a game
easily. Paladins was a lot of fun. We'll talk about that a little bit later, because that's gone into open beta and a lot more of us have gotten it.
In terms of shooters with Battlefield 2, Necrofraggle had posted on the forums that we have. Where are those forums again, John?
Forums.grimreapergamers.com.
Oh yeah, there. That he rented a server for GRG at least for the next 6 months. It sounds like.
Oh Jesus!
So yeah, Necrofraggle. Thanks, man.
Oh yeah, thank you.
That just hit the forums about an hour ago.
Yeah.
Somewhere about there. Yeah, I just saw that before we got on.
Well, that's good news.
Yeah, so that's pretty awesome.
We talk about the well, anyway, we go to the Wednesday night thing. We almost need it. So
yeah, we do almost, because there's so many people playing. What do we have? Almost 2 parties.
Wednesday night, Wednesday night we had 2 parties. Wednesday nights are our typical GRG community night. We try to pick like the main games to draw as many people in to parties. So I know like the PC crowd's been playing like Battlegrounds or something like that, whatever the flavor of the month is. Xbox, we mostly focus on Battlefield because everybody's playing it. We had 27 people in Wednesday night playing Battlefield on one server. It was crazy. It was a really incredible turnout. So I'm like counting the names. I'm like, I know we had 2 parties going, but I didn't realize it was that many people.
Yeah, we've had a lot. We have had a ton playing that. So jumping back to Tuesdays, we got Elder Scrolls Online Dungeon Dives on Tuesdays. It's probably going on right now as we record on Tuesdays now. Nail Bunny's running it tonight.
Yeah, hit him up. They usually try to pick something that includes everybody. So no matter what level you are, what faction you're in, it's usually something little, casual, lighthearted, but will earn you a lot of loot. So they'll run some dungeons or some delves and stuff like that, and just kind of blast through it and just kind of have a good time. Go hit some world bosses and whatnot. That's been going pretty well. I know we had a bunch of people looking forward to playing that tonight. Me being one of them, but we got to record this, so
you can leave.
Okay, bye.
All right, John. Finally, we got what we wanted, John.
Hey. All right. As we mentioned earlier, Wednesday nights are our official community nights. That's Battlefield 1. That's where we get a couple parties, and thanks to Necrofraggle, we have our own server for the next 6 months. So that's really awesome. Looking forward to that tomorrow night. And one that didn't get in on here because I think I snuck it in while you were writing the agenda, Jammer. Grand Theft Thursdays, we had one last week, and Dig and I are bringing it back again this week, Thursday night, 8 o'clock Eastern or 9 o'clock Eastern time. We had a lot of fun with the races and the stunt races and the Knight Rider car and the rocket cars. So bringing that back again. Got a few more guys that are gonna make it this week.
Yeah, I'm actually looking forward to that as well. I didn't get to play last week. I was out of whatever, and so I got to miss that one. But I'm looking forward to run maybe some heist or something.
Did the money come through, the $425,000 tax money?
Yeah, I think that did.
Yeah. Well, because I made sure I got to log in before then, and I haven't been back on to do it. So did you guys play that mini micro machine thing at all?
They did. They got the tiny racers out. I didn't get in until after they were done with that, and they were starting with the Knight Rider car.
Uh-huh.
And then the rocket cars. So I just missed the tiny racers. I heard there were some issues with that.
Okay.
So I think they kind of gave up on it.
Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, because I know everybody had a really good time, and I tell you, I don't know why we talk about it all the time. We pull away from it, and then once we start playing it again, we're always like, "Holy shit! Why are we not playing this?" And then
we seem
realize,
to go, about 4 or 5 weeks where it's really strong, and then it kind of fades. So we have to kind of give them a break, and then we come back. I think we sometimes underestimate when to come back.
I think it's because
maybe wait too long.
Yeah, everybody gets tired of waiting around for Lala to lose his wanted level. So that's probably why.
I gotta say, that's a little overrated. First of all, waiting for you guys to get your shit together is a painful experience. Second of all, Johnny's running around in cars without bulletproof tires. What do you expect?
I have not had non-bulletproof tires for the last year we've played.
You learned your lesson. So I taught you a valuable lesson. I can't even imagine you buying a car.
The valuable lesson. Lala is an asshole.
No. I will say, I wish I had streamed back in the day that we did it when they had those first missions and heists and stuff, and you're supposed to break that code or whatever to rob the bank.
God.
Holy fuck. John had me sitting in a car for 45 minutes, pulled off on the side of the road while he tried to break this fucking puzzle. Am I lying? I lying?
No,
you're not.
And that's it. That was a pain in the ass. But I would like to finish out those missions, like those heists. I've done a few, but usually I think it's been with just randoms. I was trying to earn my money for my apartment at the time, and those are fun. Those are a good time. GTA is just a good time. It's just a fun game to play.
It's a blast.
Yeah, it is. And moving to the last entry on our community night's agenda, Drunken Friday Battlefield, as usual. That's been very popular. We've had at least a party, probably party and a half every Friday, haven't we?
Yeah, that goes pretty well. I think I need to expand it to other shooters, but yeah, I think that goes pretty well. So I think we just need to do like a drunken shooting night. But yeah, like I said, Battlefield 1, we have so many players with that anytime you just start grouping up, it fills the lobby up. And there's one more event we need to add. Sunday nights. Or
Forza.
Wheels.
Yeah, Sunday driving Forza. So that's been going pretty well the last couple weeks. Running about 8. We usually wind up picking 2 cars, so people can bring like 2 styles of cars, so people can bring their own cars and run a bunch of races. And then after we do a little bit of that, we break out into online adventure mode and start racing against real people and earn a ton of cash. Well, yeah, I'm going to lose anyway. I suck at racing, but it's still fun.
It sounds like that.
Old
Hot
people
Wheels
behind the wheel on a
expansion.
Sunday. What can go wrong?
Yeah.
Well, in Nebraska, you're behind tractors, but it sounds like that Hot Wheels. The feedback today on the Hot Wheels expansion sounds like it's really, really well done.
Yeah,
I haven't seen any
I saw
negative on
digital
it.
streaming some of that. That looked pretty cool.
I'm kind of mad I didn't buy the season pack for this because I bought the last one and I'm going to buy this one. So I think it would have included all the season packs by now. But oh well, it is what it is. Yeah, I'll be getting the Hot Wheels. I know they give you like the tracks are like all that like orange race tracks that you had when you were a kid, and then the cars they have like the cars like the twin engine, the typical Hot Wheel car.
Yeah, I used to love those tracks as a kid. I have them down my hallway with all the orange tracks. It's the best thing in the world.
So we'll be running that. I got to post it. I don't know what the cars will be for next week. I usually have the guys pick whatever they want. Since it's Hot Wheels, that may mix it up. I kind of wanted to do Digital's free candy van, but
every time I go in there's no candy, and I come out, my ass hurts.
Then you won. You win.
Somebody won. All right. So for other events, check out grimreapergamers.com/events. The full calendar is up there. Or check our forums at forums.grimreapergamers.com for the occasional impromptu call for gamers. All right, let's move on to some news.
Well, Johnny's going
let's
to move
see.
on to some news as he fuddles with everything else. Is there things more important right now, John, than your
muting my
audience?
He got fresh celery in, so
Muting my stupid phone. That's what I had to do.
Not only does he lie to the audience, but he fuddles to the phone when it's time for news because it just shows
shutting off the ringer.
You, the audience, are not his primary. Like Jack and I, you people listening to this, you're our number one priority. John, I'm not quite sure.
Oh, I just realized with this noise gate on here, you guys might not have heard the ringer.
Oh, I heard it.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
The best part is,
John,
today, Jammer was looking at a promotion in GRG.
Yes.
He just needed an admin to vouch for him. Didn't happen.
And who would think my good friend out of all people, I'm like, oh, I'm getting promoted because John is my friend. He'll be there for me. He'd be my knight in shining armor. He'll come charging in and be there and nada.
What was he doing? We found out what he was doing.
He was playing with a movie studio or whatever instead of promoting me. Worried about his own Twitch channel rather than what I needed or what our audience needs. It's just him all the time.
Twitch.tv/Johnny Hustler, by the way.
See? Yeah, not Grim Reaper Gamers.
You couldn't expect me not to take that opening.
All right. So your phone's muted now?
Yeah, my phone's muted.
Okay. Would you like to try to do the gaming news part again? Or
yes, let's do the gaming news now.
Okay, why don't you do that?
I thought there was really much going on. We're kind of reaching for this section.
Yeah. Well, speaking of chaos, it seems appropriate to lead with this little tidbit. Player Unknown Battlegrounds, the popular King of the Hill shooter on PC, will be coming to consoles. According to the article I'm seeing is on metro.uk. There are plans to bring the PC hit to the Xbox One at the very least. Game plans to leave early access within 6 months, and at that point they will start focusing towards console. Popular game.
Yeah, I think it's going to be fantastic once you get on a console. I think for something like GRG, the problem is going to be kind of what we run into on PC sometimes, but then expound it even further because we have more user base that play Xbox, is the 4-player max squad. So as a community, we're not all going to be able to all be in the same match together or whatever, which kind of sucks. Except they are working on different server things and all I know. I don't know if that's going to happen with the console. So, that's the only drawback. But it's a fantastic game. I think our community will love it once they see what the PC players have been talking about with it.
Yeah, that's always a rough time when you have 4 people playing and you get the 5th person hop in. Hey, guys. It's like, sorry, dude. But I think that if that came over to Xbox, I think they would release it as like an early access, like Arc. What would it be, like a $30 game, you think? Or
we paid $34 on a PC, I think, John, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was $30.
So, and I think you'll probably get a few people to switch over to give it a try. I was reading they based it off with the Unreal 4 engine, so they were saying it shouldn't really be too much to port it over. It's a pretty good multi-platform engine, so hopefully we'll see it soon. But I think they want to get the PC version finished first. I don't know. So
that's the word I've heard.
The concern I do see, because I follow them on Twitter for server updates and stuff, generally when they patch something, they fuck something up, and then they have to fix that. So it might be a while before it gets on consoles. I see all the time where it's like, oh, sorry for that. We're going to take care of that, and then you'll be able. There's always some type of problem every time they do some type of update.
And this is where
which is kind of the hallmark of early access.
Because isn't this game mode is something that's been around for what, like DayZ, or what's the different games that have this game mode? It's Arma.
There's Arma. Yeah, a bunch of them. Yeah.
And I wouldn't be surprised if like Ubisoft got their heads out of their asses and quickly did something like this for the Division. Like release this game mode for the Division. Because something like this could work, like in the Dark Zone and the circles, and
it's a blast. I mean, it's not Lala's type of game, but I think overall a lot of people have fun with it.
Yeah, I think I'd probably give this game a try a couple times and then yell at you guys for making me spend the money. But
Well, yeah, because I just see you the whole time being like, "What? Can't we just shoot? You're gonna shoot a random bullet because you can't sit there and not put your finger on the right trigger, and then you're gonna alert somebody that we're in some room hiding, and then they're gonna take us out and be dead."
I was very well disciplined in the Dark Zone and the Division.
Yes,
I didn't do anything like that.
No, you don't. You don't randomly just shoot all the time. That's correct.
No, but I did want to shoot out every motherfucker on the I came across. You guys just didn't want me to, so I.
Yeah. We basically have to take your controller from you at times.
They need to die. Red is dead.
Yeah.
All right, so that'll be something to watch for. They say within 6 months they should be out of early access, like you said, Jammer. That may be give or take with how they've broken a few things as they fix them. So, Overwatch has made over $1 billion in less than a year. That's astounding right there. IGN brings us the information. Activision Blizzard reports over $1 billion in less than a year on sale. 30 million registered players for Overwatch, which they said has become or has made it Blizzard's fastest growing franchise. So that even includes the ever played World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
I'll say that Blizzard does no wrong. It's another example right there. They just, I think they had, I guess you can say Diablo 3, some people, but they fixed it. But the Blizzard fan base is so dedicated to their product, and that's just evidence right there. They stick to a game.
Yeah, they did a really good job with this game. I think that $1 billion also includes like the sales and microtransactions, so it's like a combined total from everything. And they're looking at starting their own MLG division, like to get the esports going for this. So,
would be a good esports style game.
Yeah.
Jack, how was rebuying that game?
I rage quit already. It's a tough one. You really need to. I think we got grouped up with somebody that's like a hardcore Overwatch player, and I don't know how or matchmaking works in that game. So we're kind of thinking it was like skill based because we just got stomped like really bad every game we played. And it was like my first night returning to the game in like a few months. Yeah, it was rough. But now wasn't this off their Titan, their MMO they were making? It was like codename Titan. I don't know if this was supposed to be like the world they were in and like the graphic.
I think it was something based, or they were going to be in the same world or something like that.
Yeah, and so I guess I took like the artwork and I guess maybe even like the character designs. Maybe, I don't know what that was going to be about. But
yeah, some of the designs and stuff. And I think even like, there was supposed to be some sort of battle arena component. I think that's what became Overwatch, if memory serves me correct.
And it's funny because every once in a while I hear like a Battleborn fanboy, say that how much better that was, or now it's like $5 you can buy it, and like it was their biggest mistake releasing that the same time period as Overwatch. I mean, it may
got
be
obliterated.
It may.
That is the only demo I ever rage quit.
I don't know. I played it for a little bit. I didn't play the multi, the matchmaking or the player versus player stuff. So I don't know how it played, but it was. I just knew like you weren't going to compete with Overwatch. So
controls were terrible. I think that was why. Yeah, that was why I quit, because it was just controls were so jerky and in Battleborn I didn't like it, and Overwatch was a lot better. I mean,
you just knew that Overwatch was going to decimate it.
You can go back to episodes before they were launched. We were saying that Battleborn needed to move the date, and they didn't.
No. Well, I think we even mentioned that Battleborn needed some more polish based off that demo, and the demo came out shortly the game came out shortly after that demo.
Now, see,
because that was basically a server test.
And maybe they could have fixed it, and like those smaller devs have an easier time because they're a little bit more agile. Blizzard is so slow releasing content and getting stuff out there and doing updates. They I noticed like with Warcraft, it just takes forever for them to get stuff done. Where I think like a smaller dev like Battleborn, or we're going to talk about Paladins later, might have a better opportunity to capitalize on stuff like that. Get the balancing right, get new game modes out there, new maps out there quicker, new heroes out there. It takes Overwatch forever. So,
yeah. And speaking of Paladins, as you mentioned, Paladins went into open beta, which has expanded our player base within GRG for the game. I got it myself here when it went open beta and got the Founders Pack. As we mentioned, we did a lot of this. A lot of us did this played this on Monday night. A lot of fun. I would say even other than sensitivity out of the box is way too damn high on Paladins. They really need to ramp that sensitivity down, because I had to drop that sucker huge, because I barely tapped my right stick and I was turned around.
Yeah, the right stick. I've only played the tutorial since I'm not on Xbox that often anymore, but I played it just to check it out, and man almighty, that right stick, it was like I barely touched the thing and it was like zoom.
Yeah, right stick sensitivity.
Really
was
weird
bad.
that it was that way.
Yeah,
once I got it fixed, it was fine. But
I didn't make any changes there. I don't know.
Well, maybe you got the Elite controller, don't you? You got the Elite controller, so maybe there's.
I don't have anything set for that either. I'm like the worst Elite controller owner. I use trigger stops and I use the saucer D-pad, and that's about it. I don't make any other changes. But yeah, I think the controls were pretty good. In fact, because I was using the one champion, Cassie, who has a crossbow, and it's a one shot, like it's a slow loading. And my kid's like, he's like, oh my God, Dad, you got an aimbot going. I'm like, no, he's like, you're hitting them in the head each time. So I think they felt okay to me. I don't know. I know a lot of people complained about it, but
yeah, that's been common as a sensitivity. And I noticed it right out of the bat. No,
I think it's
same here.
Free to play. I mean, there's absolutely no reason not to be trying this. It's neat. I like it a lot. I think it adds a little bit extra to Overwatch. It's very similar to Overwatch. They're essentially the same games, same characters. But I think it adds extra when you come in. You can create custom builds for your character. You can buy the different cards, the loadouts, customize it there. And then within game, you have the option to adjust your character in game. So if they're bringing like their heavy tanks or heavy heals, like last night we had a match where there was 2 healers and we couldn't do any damage. So a few of us ran like this cauterized card, which mitigated some of that healing, and we're able to start killing people. And we came back towards the end and we almost won. At the end it was like down to like they got the 4th cap, and we had like 99. So it was like right there. It was so close. So it's neat because you're able to adjust on the fly and make changes based on the players you're facing.
If people do that,
you have to go in with a team. You really do. Me and Rab, we were messing around the one night, and
it's not Rob,
and Rabbi, and we were just getting around. So it was me and him, and so we had 3 randoms, and I couldn't tell you what the hell these guys were doing. They weren't anywhere near the objective. They weren't getting kills. I guess they were playing for kills, but they sure as hell weren't getting them. And we just got like stomped, I think like 5 games in a row. And I finally had to just, go to bed and cry myself to sleep. It was that bad. But so you need to, it's a game where you really want to have a team, and make sure everybody plays a specific role. I mean, you're going to need a healer, you're going to need a tank. And then you can go from there. You can customize it. Like I said, we faced the 2 healers, and it was ridiculous. So
yeah, it's interesting now that I've hit level 5, starting, and I can get into the more into the player versus player section of it. I've gotten used to a couple of the characters. I've gotten used to Pip. I've gotten used to Ruckus, which I really like. That's a great run and gun style, or frontline gunning style. Although Pip surprised me because I'm usually not very good at single shot, but that spread shot with the potion gun works.
He's a healer, so you got to be prepared to heal your team.
I was doing so. I was getting the hang of that too.
And it's a good idea to go to like websites like paladindex.com, and you can go and look up like different builds and create that before you start the game, so you can go in and have a character and a class preset and focus like on one or two characters, like make a damage class, make a frontline or a healer. Start off with those. It takes a few games to get used to the character, and yeah, it's just fun. Just adds like an extra level of to like a game like Overwatch. It's just a little bit more.
You do realize that John hitting level 5 pretty much means that he's done.
Yeah, he's retired.
Oh, yeah, Jesus. Yeah.
He might get to 7.
Well, don't push it though. Not 10 though. I'll tell you that.
No double digits out of the.
Yeah. Okay.
So expect to hear more about Paladins from GRG here on the ReaperCast and on our site and our forums at forums.grimreapergamers.com. Looks like it's going to be a game that'll take off with a lot of the guys in the community, because a lot of them that started playing the open beta did pick up the Founders Pack. So we'll have good representation there.
Yeah, and just to touch off like that Founders Pack, it's $20, and you get all the heroes, the current heroes unlocked, and any future heroes. So it's a cheap buy-in. I don't know. Anyway,
yeah,
moving on.
It's gonna be a good one. So going on, NBA Playgrounds released today. A little bit of NBA Street, a little bit of NBA Jam, a whole lot of boring announcers. My biggest complaint, Iron Eagle is horrible is a horrible match for this. I'll just say that right now. Game looked interesting, even though when I was watching, Didge was getting his ass whooped.
I almost beat that team in my second match, that opening round. I was just playing it before the podcast, but then they beat me anyway, and then it was time for the podcast. But I will say minus some of the limitations we're going to talk about, but the loading times suck for a cheapy game, and the AI is pretty tough. I mean, I'm on the basic level and get my ass kicked, but I think Digital said after a little bit you start coming around. But it's a blast. I mean, and it's something you can pick up and play once the loading screen part's done. You know, it's a quick game when you just want to get in and play something. I haven't been able to unlock God mode yet with Embiid, but I'm looking forward to that, because then I won't lose any more games. So.
Oh, you'll never lose again. Never lose again with him. I got this as well today. I figured, why the hell not? I mean, I loved NBA Jam back in the arcades, and this is essentially NBA Jam, but for the Xbox One. You have a few extra buttons, so you can do a couple extra moves and whatnot, and then you can level up your characters so they do extra stuff. I haven't gotten that far. I have not unlocked God mode, but I unlocked Jaleel Okafor, so I guess yeah. I got him. I got Ben Simmons and him, so I'm halfway to God mode.
I have no Sixers yet. That it does suck. The one thing we talk about limitations is that you can only do matchmaking right now, so you cannot play your friends online. Locally you can, but they're supposed to add that. But that's something that's kind of a must, So that way we could, play this type of game with GRG. It'd be a blast to have some type of tournament there with it. And I do like the player when you rank up, the player cards and opening up the cards and seeing who you unlock, and that kind of makes you driven to keep playing the game because you want to unlock more players.
You only want to unlock Embiid.
Well, then it's game over.
Yeah,
that's what the screen actually says. It says game over once you.
Yeah,
unlock
basically got to be done.
Yeah, because it's just not worth playing anymore at that point. So, but it really is. It's a lot of fun. I mean, there's some frustrating moments when I'm taking shots right now, and if you don't hit the combo, you just take a regular shot and it doesn't get in there. So it's not, but it's the dunks and all that. I don't know over time if it'll get tiring, like, the animations, because right now it's pretty cool, but I watched Didge play for maybe 30 minutes today, and I played it for about 15, so it's not old yet.
I'm looking forward to the local multiplayer. The biggest reason I bought it now instead of waiting until the online multiplayer got straightened out, matchmaking, is because I can play with my kids, pick up and play with the kids, and play some four player couch multiplayer. So that's a big reason I got it. I did, the NBA Jam vibe is strong. I would say, yeah, you're right. The loading screens, from what I've seen, have been terrible. Digital's suggestion, by the way, was use exhibition mode to level up. It's not quite as bad as as the tournament mode, although it looks like in tournament mode, the old NBA cheat comeback AI seems to be alive and well in there. If the quality announcing is, I would pay for DLC to have the original NBA Jam announcer take over instead of Ian Eagle, because while I like Ian Eagle on broadcasts, he is like I said a moment ago, he's a horrible fit for this.
But see, I did find that too, but I get tired of, there's only so many words that a guy's going to record. So with the majority of my sports games, I pretty much eliminate the announcer pretty early on, because you just keep hearing the same phrases and it gets tiring. So it's better I just eliminate that sound anyway.
Well, and mine's not so much lack of variety. It's more he's got all the excitement of someone at a funeral.
No,
announcing the game.
Well,
right
it's Ian Eagle did not ramp up what normal Ian Eagle is when he's doing a basketball or a football game that, like, a lot of people know him from the NFL.
Right.
He did not ramp up his level.
No, he didn't. He didn't push that to the level that it should have been with the gameplay style.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's move forward on this. We'll talk more about that, especially as they straighten out matchmaking and we get more GRG playing each other.
Get tournament going.
Yep, because that'll be a good one for tournament once they get that fixed. Okay, a little bit more geek culture, TV type of stuff than gaming here with this next bit. Game of Thrones. HBO is looking at least, I've heard, at least 4 different spin-off ideas. Some of them, at least 2 I've heard, have been contributed or gotten contributions from George R.R. Martin. Others with ties to Game of Thrones have also been mentioned here with this whole spin-off idea, and it's sounding more like it's going to be prequel type stuff. Possibly speculation, possibly the Mad King.
I'd watch the Mad King.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll see the prequel. I'm sure it'll be both. I'm sure it'll be prequel and sequel after this, or maybe 50 years later. All they know is Game of Thrones sells HBO subscriptions, so they'll with the original series ending soon, they need to get more people to buy HBO. So why not continue it if they can? What pisses me off is Martin needs to finish his goddamn books.
That's exactly what I was thinking. I was going to say the same thing.
First thing I thought when I heard about this and heard about his involvement is, okay, what about the books?
But I got to be honest.
Or is he just going to give up on the books and has he gone full TV?
Unlike the best sci-fi show ever, The Expanse, where they have lots of books way ahead of the TV series.
Firefly is obviously the best sci-fi show. You're just wrong. I've read all the books, and I'm perfectly okay if he's just going to finish out the TV way. I think that I like the TV show better. It's just more condensed and straight to the point. It's just more enjoyable. The books can get tedious at 1,000 pages long. You're listening to Sansa go down this stupid fucking mountain for a whole chapter. So I think you'll see a combination of, like, maybe Ned Stark's young life, or the Mad King, and then after this Game of Thrones, I'm sure they'll want to continue it. Will it be as good? I don't think they can. I mean, it's going to be hard getting past like Peter Dinklage and Jon Snow and.
Yeah, I mean, there were so many perfect factors that came together for this series that it's hard to get that. Yeah, it's hard to get that lightning in the bottle again. And but they're going to definitely be looking for it, because let's face it, the one subscription mover that they have left, in my opinion, is Westworld.
Yeah.
After Game of Thrones is gone.
Is that
other
as popular,
shows have
though?
come and gone.
I don't know if Westworld is as big. I mean, I think Westworld is critically acclaimed and it's a great series. Fantastic. I think Game of Thrones pulled in more people.
Well, I think from what I've heard, now HBO doesn't always release their their viewer numbers there. They're a lot like Netflix in that respect because they're more off subs instead of relying on ad revenue. What I've heard is that Westworld season 1 was comparable in numbers to Game of Thrones season 1. Now the question is going to be season 2 is where a lot of people started really coming on board, and that's when it really became, people started hearing about it as season 2 came on. They went back, watched, they got their HBO subs. They went back and watched the season 1. 2 is when things really, really kicked up as far as numbers.
I would say Game of Thrones really took off when social media, with the Ned Stark episode in season 1. And everybody on social media blew up like, holy shit.
Which was the end, which was what? Was that
like
last
episode 9?
Next to last?
It wasn't that.
Yeah,
It was
next to last.
The last.
It was 8 or 9.
Yeah.
And so then people on social media saw people that were watching it, and they were like, holy shit, what is this show? And then that gained more people. So the Ned Stark thing really is, I think, the focal point that made that show just explode.
Because I think I picked up right before then because I just started hearing about it. Got my HBO sub, binged the first 6 episodes or so, whatever I missed.
Yeah, I did not read the books prior to that, and so I started watching the show because I heard about how good it was. So I watched the show, and then Ned Stark episode happened. I'm like, what in the hell? It totally was like, what? I was blown away. I think I watched it like 3 times, got DVR in it, and I was imagining it was like one of GRG members was doing that too. But anyway, so then I went through and between season 1 and 2, I banged out the books as fast as I could. So yeah, it's kind of like I look at it now, and we're past where the books are in the show, and the end is coming. I mean, they are quickly moving to the end. They're not wasting any time. I mean, they kind of really ramp stuff up in the last season, and I don't know. I'm going to miss it. It's such a great show. It's such a
and I think it's one of the big reasons because they aren't wasting time.
No.
What's been our complaint with our second favorite, or what seems to be the second favorite in the group, The Walking Dead? What seems to be the complaint that they have been dragging their asses.
See, I don't have that problem with The Walking Dead as everybody else does, but it's just nice to see like a fantasy show done at an adult level and done well.
Well, and I see Game of Thrones wins in a way that other shows don't, where good doesn't always win. The main character doesn't always survive, and which is real life. That's really life. There's no rule that says the good person always wins or the good person always lives. And I wish other shows would be daring enough to do that. Walking Dead slightly did it, but they've gotten away from that. They don't really kill off major characters.
I still read the comics of The Walking Dead, and they're not shy about axing people. Obviously, I think the people with the plot armors are Rick and Coral. Their plot armor is so thick, it's bulletproof. I think anybody else is fair game in that series, and in fact, the last episode they just killed off another major character. Not as exciting as the Glenn episode, but Game of Thrones. I think they have 3 main characters, and Daenerys, Peter Dinklage, what's his name, the Imp, and Jon Snow,
Tyrion,
and I think they are, they're the main stars. They're going to be the ones riding the damn 3 dragons. Whether they all live at the end, who knows? But they'll win. They'll win for sure.
Will anybody live at the end? I mean, this is Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
I don't think they would. Yeah,
we could just be seeing dead bodies. That could be the last shot. Is everybody dead?
Yeah, it could be the White Walkers.
I think if Martin had his way, like that would happen. But television is generally not as much as they don't always let good win in the show. I can't see them ending that without.
They can't kill Jon Snow again, can they? I mean, like
zombie Snow.
Well, that's what he is now.
The shades of gray make that show, though. I mean, it's not clear cut. Let's face it, Tyrion Lannister is not a good guy,
but he's not a bad guy.
I mean, but that's what I mean. He's not pure innocent good as you would see in a lot of these shows.
I
He
think
is a very middle character.
Well, no, I think he is a very good character. I just think that in that world, I think he's always striving to do the right thing. Now, how he gets there,
Well, but he's not afraid to do whatever it takes to get
Oh,
to
sure.
that.
Yeah.
Dude shot his father on the shitter.
Well, his father
For crying out loud. I mean, it's
also
not
had some
exactly
issues.
the orthodox way to take care of business there, but
The guy couldn't defend himself. He was busy shitting. I mean,
guy had the damned King's Landing Times in one hand,
hit Reader's Digest,
toilet paper in the other.
But he was also the same guy that orchestrated the Red Wedding. So,
well, that's true. I mean,
so he's,
I'm just saying.
it.
But that's what I like, though. The good guys aren't always they don't always go by the pure methods.
Yeah,
maybe that's a better way
it's
to
a great
put
show.
it. Anyway.
It's exciting to see that they're going to try to continue something like that.
As long as they do it right and don't just try to shoehorn junk.
Yeah,
I mean, since it's HBO, I got more faith.
I have faith. Yeah,
because it's HBO and they usually put out pretty damn good quality.
We're only a month away from next season.
Yeah.
Oh God,
June. So we're almost there, even though it's going to be a short season.
The long wait is almost
That's fine.
over. Thank
I'm okay
God.
with the
Yeah.
short seasons. I'm okay with that. It's
If
just
they,
the wait in
keep
between.
the story clipping. I like it. All right, last bit of news here. Back to gaming. The next Far Cry could be a spaghetti western. Who wants to explain that one?
Well, I will. I think that they were some producer, Jeff Goliath or whatever, however he's pronounced, was caught filming stuff in like Montana, and he's filming live action video for a major gaming franchise. So that the rumor is that obviously Ubisoft and Far Cry used a lot of like live action stuff to promote their games. So that the rumor is that he's filming stuff for one of Ubisoft's games, and one of the major ones that would make sense is Far Cry 5, which is set to come out in September. And I think that they're looking at maybe capitalizing, speaking of HBO, off of Westworld's popularity and ringing in on that. The question is, can they beat Red Dead Redemption at the same game? Because they're both going to be open world games. Red Dead is hugely popular, and I don't know. So, but it's just a crazy rumor. I just kind of threw it into the news.
Well, and I'm glad you actually did, because we were kind of talking about it before the show. While we didn't know that John was sitting waiting for us to contact him because we haven't installed the camera in his basement yet. But excuse me. Besides Red Dead, I'm actually really shocked in the gaming genre that there aren't more westerns. Call of Juarez, I remember on the 360. Obviously, Red Dead is the western game, but you really would think there would be a lot more western going on, because it's it's shooters, it's high drama. There's a lot to it that makes a good game. So it really is interesting to me that there aren't more western games out there.
You brought up exactly what I was thinking. There's not a whole lot of western gaming out there. Call of Juarez is the only other one I can think of right off the top of my head. I think they had a sequel or something.
There's some others too. But...
Well, they had a sequel to it, and that was kind of forgettable. But there's really, westerns are not well served in the gaming community. So while Red Dead will be the big news either this fall, or if they keep their target this fall or this holiday, or more likely spring, which is what I think they'll hit, there's still plenty of room for westerns, especially if you do more of maybe you do more of a modern style, more modern day in that type of, in that type of environment, something a little more modern than your than the pure 1850s type of western.
Mm-hmm.
Something maybe
you could do basically a Westworld type of game with the same type of concept, where you're in current times, but you get transported. Basically the same. You could use the same concept, and then even up your guns a little bit, but still have that Western background to it.
Or even if you did modern day in Montana, where you still have some of the wildlife and stuff, it's still some tougher terrain, and you have more of a modern storyline that, while would be, I guess that'd be a little more rural than a spaghetti Western.
Mm-hmm.
But
I just want to know, how are you going to release a game like Far Cry 5 and Red Dead at the same time? I mean, they're open world games. They're very, very similar. Like, it's going to, I mean, Far Cry has nothing really to lose. I guess Red Dead's pushed against the wall. I don't know. I just think it's going to be two similar games, and if they're both released in September,
I can't see them both releasing at the same time. Now, like Far Cry is a popular series, but I wouldn't want to go up against Red Dead.
Oh, absolutely not.
The Red Dead is one of the hugely popular games.
no, you don't
there.
go against Rockstar.
Nobody should touch that. Yeah.
Well, I would.
You're dead in the water.
Yeah.
I think Crate in the same game, but I don't know. See, I was never big into the Red Dead Redemption, and I'm worried about the game coming out. Like, I like GTA, I like GTA Online. I don't know how that's going to work with Red Dead, but I think having two of the same games, maybe Far Cry will probably get buried like Battleborn. Be the next Battleborn.
It's just a rumor.
Yeah, and who knows? I mean, plus another thing to factor in, usually when Ubisoft announces a game, like if they announce something to E3, you're looking at least a year away. If not more.
I don't think it's releasing now. So I don't think we're releasing it now. It'd be an idiot to put it out within any month span of Red Dead. You better wait at least 6 months.
Of course, if Ubisoft does announce it at E3, and we're looking at another like 16 months there to the next fall, they better hope that Red Dead doesn't push to spring of 2018. Because then they are, back ending against them. So who knows? We'll know. What are we, a month away from E3?
Yeah, June, right?
Yeah, mid-June. So we're a month and a couple days.
We have to put together our E3 panel.
So.
Yeah, well, we're also got to put together when our podcast credentials come in.
Oh, yes.
For E3, they're coming to your house, right, Jack?
Well, don't they let anybody in E3 now, or what's the one?
That's right. I think the scum can
if you pay.
Yes,
go in too.
The unwashed masses.
Yeah. Not just the highfalutin popular people.
I want to go to after parties.
I do too. I want to go to a party. Shit, I haven't been to a party in ages. All right, let's go on to our topic for tonight. We're gonna, we're gonna hit a quick topic before calling it a night. So
no, we're not. No topics.
We're not. No topics.
You quit.
Why not?
It's tired. Okay. I want to go to bed.
No bed for you.
All right. So tonight's roundtable topic is
sponsored by.
How do we torture Jammer?
Torture me? You're going to go over an hour show. What do you think that does to Jack? Tomato meter goes high.
I gave the approval.
One of these days, I'm going to screenshot chat in Skype that goes on during one of these shows.
Yeah, I could say what it is now. It says up to you guys. I said skip it. It says up to you guys. And next thing you know, John's like, well, fuck it, we're going.
We'll do it live.
Us. Why not?
We'll do it live.
We're going live.
We're highly professional here.
All right, so here's what we're going to talk about, and this kind of goes to the Paladins, kind of goes to other models as well. Are the free-to-play models hurting gaming? So the question is, do we think that free-to-play is good for gaming or bad for gaming? Or in this case, do we think it's hurting it? First part of it that you brought up here, does it help the gamers to try out the games? We're an open beta for Paladins. We have other games that are similar. Marvel Heroes Omega, I believe, came out recently, and it's another free-to-play. Is this something that's helping gamers try out games versus the traditional demo model?
I'm just going to answer no to everything so we can end the topic and I can go to bed.
Wrong answer.
So the answer is no. Does it basically, you're not getting a demo anymore. Let's see, like in a sense before, when they had demos, it generally was catered to try and promote the game to push you to purchase it. Where at a free to play model, you are starting at the beginning and you don't get to the cool things yet. So it's good in the sense that like Paladins is a great example. I don't know if Jack would have tried Paladins out if it wasn't free. He might have, but when it's free, you're like, well, what the fuck? Might as well give it a try.
Yeah, Paladins was I had the open beta, or I had the closed beta, I had the invitation, and I was kind of bored one night, so I figured I'd try it. I don't mind how Paladins works because they give you the option right away to buy into the Founders Pack or whatever. And at the time, they had it on sale for $15, so it was an easy choice for me. $15 and unlock. I'll do that in a heartbeat. I think when you have the free to play games like Neverwinter, it drives me nuts. That's one that drives me crazy because it's an okay game, and I probably would get into it, but it's free to play. They beat you over the head and nickel and dime you with the cash shop so badly. It's like an insult. It's like, well, screw you. I'm not going to pay it. I like games. Well, I know Guild Wars isn't a free to play game because you have to buy the game, but after that, you can continue playing, and you never really need to touch the cash shop. Give me an option like that. Like, give me a free to play game. Let those that don't want to pay the subscription or pay for the game get beat up by the cash shop, or just give me the option to buy the shit straight out. Like, don't make me go into a cash shop, buy keys to unlock a chest that I might get the stuff I want. Let me just buy the outfit I want, or the gun I want, or the character I want. I'd rather see stuff like that. I'd rather see a shortcut with the free to play and the cash shop. Give me directly the item I want.
Cash shop to me. Go ahead.
No, okay. The one thing that bothers me with free to play and gaming society, it's kind of this way regardless. But when you play like a WoW, say, like the subscription based, people are a little bit more committed because there's a financial commitment to it. When you play a free to play with guild, I couldn't even imagine a guild management like in a free to play where people are just dropping in and out because they haven't invested any of their money into the game necessarily. So you're not getting we already as gamers aren't overly dedicated, minus a small percentage of people that, just focus that way. So now you're taking a bunch of people to play tons of games as it is, and you're making it even easier for them to play a ton of games.
There's good and bad to that. Now, what I wanted to
hedge,
kind of come back to the cash.
Waffle.
No, well, not really. The one I want to get back to though is the cash shop. To me, the cash shop kind of boils down to two sides, really. One side is the costumes and the as you've put it, Jack, Barbie dress up in the past, where that's pretty harmless. People love to get the new outfits and stuff, and that's a lot of what gets GTA a ton of cash. Like hundreds of billions of dollars in cash over its lifetime. Weapons is another factor. I don't mind weapons being in a cash shop so much as long as there's a way to earn them to a point. Maybe not the greatest and the best of all time, but if there's a way to upgrade playing the free to play model, there's where it's not turning it to pay to win.
Yeah, and
so
I think
to speak.
I think a lot of game developers know that gamers hate that pay to win mentality. They don't like it at all. So they try to make sure they get away from stuff like that. I just get annoyed that when you, I know Elder Scrolls, you have to buy the game, but within it, they have these skins that are locked away behind these like loot crate things. And I just want the goddamn skin. I want this like stupid mount skin to ride this stupid wild hunt wolf. I don't know. I will pay for it. Just give me $15. I'll pay it. I'll have it. You guys have your money. I'll have my stupid mount. No, you have to buy these stupid loot crate things and randomly get stuff. That's the stuff that drives me mad. And I think these free-to-play games really take advantage of stuff like that, to the point where I think it takes away from the actual gameplay. Let me play the game and enjoy it. I'll buy the stuff if it's easy purchasable, or give me the option to just buy it all straight out. Like $60, you're in, you're done. We won't bother you again. You can have everything. I'm in. I'm paying. I'll give you the money.
Yeah. Well, like the Founders Pack for Paladins.
Yeah.
We got, boom, everything unlocked.
And forever unlocked.
You still have the loot crates with all the dress up stuff, and paying for the loot crate, paying for the opportunity to get screwed by the RNG, the random number generator. That is very annoying. Fortunately, pay to win has kind of missed the consoles, even though it's hit the phones, the mobile devices hard.
Oh, yeah. That's why I don't do mobile gaming at all. So
mobile gaming sucks.
I just go to Reddit and browse porn.
Which is what every phone should be for.
Yes.
So now, does this hurt? And I think we kind of danced around this a little bit. Does this hurt the ADD gaming? We've talked about gamers ADD a ton on this show, over 57 episodes. Does this really hurt the ADD gamer who bounces from here to there to back to here to there to everywhere?
It makes it sure as shit easier. I could tell you that I rip on Ghost all the time, but if I go on Steam and I look up free-to-play games, his name pops up a lot of times as like played this game. So, and I'm sure his answer would be, hey, it's free. I gave it a try. But when we're already ADD, it does make it a lot easier to switch out and switch over, because it goes back to kind of what I was saying, how people aren't as financially committed to a game and playing it for a certain length of time when it's free. So besides taking the time to download the game, play it, and when you're done, you're done. You don't worry, you move on to the next free one.
I do like where it helps. The age of the demo is dead.
Yeah.
At this point, between early access and free to play, the demo is dead.
I loved the demos back in the 360 days. Like when you got that, remember the demo disc with, what was it, with the Xbox magazine or whatever? Like there was a disc with demos on it. And for me, who hadn't been a gamer besides sports games, it was a way for me to try a bunch of different ways. I loved the demo method. I probably like that better than the free-to-play method, honestly.
See, I'm kind of on the other side of the fence. I thought demos were a little too limited, and a lot of times what you got in the demo wasn't what you got in the final release with a lot of games. So I feel like you get a better representation now between early access or the free-to-play. So you have a better idea what the game is when you're playing it. I have a little better idea what I'm paying for, for like the Founders Pack or an early, paying for an early access game or something like that. I have a little better idea what I'm getting when the finished product comes, or buying the expansion that unlocks everything.
Yeah, I just want to unlock everything. Just give me the money. Let me have the option to spend my money and unlock it all, because I have no time for the cash shops and all that bullshit. So
he uses GRG funds.
Yeah, I use GRG funds. I really haven't found too many free-to-play games. So I take that back. Paladins is one, but most of them I'm not super MMOs wise. Like I'm just not crazy about. They're not at the same level as a game that offers a subscription, and they just hinder you at every. They find ways to just lock your character down so you can't have any fun unless you really start dumping money into it, and they make it unrealistic the amount of money you have to spend. I find it costs more for free play, to enjoy a free to play game. Like look at DC Unlimited.
I was just gonna bring up DC. That was the one. That was exactly what I was thinking of as you were talking about that. First thing came to mind, and that is probably I would say that's probably the worst offender. Although I'm wondering about this Marvel Heroes Omega.
They do see. There's some like Neverwinter did not have the sub option, which we've talked about before. If there's a sub option and it lets me get stuff, because I get a certain number of like ESO, you get the crown points or whatever, 1,500 or whatever it is. Then I don't mind it. I think the DC game's the same type of way. You can sub, and that opens up things that you get credits for to buy from the shop. I'm fine with that. It's the Neverwinter model where there wasn't a sub, and here's the cash up, here's the cash up, here's the cash shop. That's what bothers me.
Yep.
And it just shows how amazing that WoW is, because all these other especially when we talk about MMOs, all these other MMOs that even try to come out with a base subscription that you have to have, they all eliminate that. Most of them go to free to play, and WoW still holds true to that $15 a month, and people still pay it. It's amazing.
Well, yeah, last year's expansion, what came out last fall, one of the most anticipated titles for the last holiday season was that was what, last fall, wasn't it? That latest expansion.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It was one of the hottest anticipated titles, and it was an expansion to a 10-year-old game.
They got people been paying $15 a month since the inception of the damn game.
Yep.
Which is, was it 13 years ago, 14 years ago now?
Yeah, but I mean, like, well, we all know that if you put any amount of time in the game, if you're putting like 15, 20 hours a month in that game, we don't have problems spending the subscription. So it's cheaper than going to a movie. So
yeah, that's just the one game that any other game that's tried it. Star Wars. What's more fucking popular than Star Wars? They couldn't do it. They had to go to free to play. Only WoW has been able to pull it off. Where we're like, now they have that. I know they have a free version up to a certain level, like 10 or something.
Oh, but you get that in like 5 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah, but they're the only ones that have not had to adjust all this time. They have never had to adjust their pricing schedule.
Now, my understanding, and from what I read, and from my kid tells me, and from Quantum and Reaperman tells me, is Warframe is one that does free to play correctly, and it's a lot of fun and very enjoyable as a free to play game. I've played it for like 2 seconds, so I can't comment on it, but I know my kid plays it a lot, my youngest, and put a ton of hours into it, and he's able to do everything he wants to do without issues. So
it's like we said. I mean, we have disposable income that we use it for games. Maybe not disposable, but we do. But
we dispose of it.
We dispose of it. Yeah. If you make a game that I feel like I'm investing time in, and that what you've done is worthwhile of me giving you money, I'm happy to give you money. Even if it's a free game, I'm happy to support you. There's been games that I played that are free to play. I didn't necessarily need the sub, but I subbed for like a month or whatever, just because I wanted to support the developer on it. If you put out a product on that, I don't mind giving some money.
Yeah, same here. I mean, look how much we've sunk into GTA Online. It's not necessary, but a lot of us have bought shark cards to get extra stuff just because of all the free stuff that does come with the game. So overall I like the free to play model, I guess. I think it's an improvement over the demo. I know Jammer, you're not in full agreement with that, but I personally like it better than the old demo model, I guess.
It's just too many of them is the problem.
Well, that's probably the downside. If there is a real one that you get flooded, shovelware becomes an issue.
You guys complain about all these free games.
Well, because we have awesome PCs to play them on.
Well, let's face it. The one thing it does, if there is one complaint from my end on Steam, it is a bitch to navigate through those free to plays.
Yeah, because there's tons of them.
They haven't quite figured out the algorithm yet to make the better games fully rise to the top. I think you get some early on, you get some things that show up more popular than they will be in a 4 to 6 week time span.
But does like a free to play game, in terms of hurting gaming, because when they first released this stuff, graphics wise and everything, it's not always built because the money's not there to support it like there is necessarily with a AAA title. So no, you wanted this freaking topic. You can don't tell me to wrap up in the chat over there. This is your own damn fault now. We
Nope.
could have been done 20 minutes
Nope.
ago and have fucking spoken up. So
I'm cutting this all out anyway.
does the
I cut this whole section out. It's going to editing room floor.
does a free to play model hurt the development of a game? I mean, could a game be better, but they don't put in the extra mile because it's a free to play model?
I think that depends on the studio. I mean, some studios are small enough that they need to get that free to play model out, get some revenue in so that they can expand it properly. You know, it's helped some games. It like I said, there's been a lot of shit out there from developers that just want to crank out a piece of shit in hopes they can get a quick cash grab from people before the reviews come out. Anybody that watches Jim Sterling can see exactly what games those are, because he's getting sued by half those little developers. But overall, I think it helps a smaller independent studio that is dedicated to the game add to it, make it something bigger. So
go ahead and finish it up and hedge here, John, please.
I've already said what I think. I don't think it's hurting gaming. I think it's helping. I think it's better than the demo model. It gives better exposure to a game, and it allows people to try out games they maybe normally wouldn't and find something they wouldn't normally pay for, based off of reviews or word of mouth, because they didn't think it'd be something they'd be interested in. So that's my vote. Everybody else want to vote, or
No.
should we just head to the end?
I want to go to bed.
Okay. All right.
I should tell people that are listening. I say I want to go to bed about 30 minutes before we even start recording. So
you say you want to go to bed around 5 o'clock Eastern as we're chatting about it.
Yeah. After he gets done the Sizzler, the early bird special.
My early bird special, man. But I will say, what's that email address again?
He was going to pimp it the entire time.
At GrimReaperGamers.com.
He was, throughout the entire show, he's going to talk about the email.
Yes, I didn't get that in there as much as I thought I would. So.
Yeah. So
I'll be spamming the shit out of it before a few episodes are over. So
at that email address would be a great way to let us know. Also, besides questions, is what kind of length of show do you like? Because do you like the 55-minute one we could have had? Or do you like the hour and a half one that we're going to have?
I said cut it short.
I'm sorry.
You hedged on that. I don't even want to hear it. Talk about me hedging. You're the one that hedged on whether we should go through the topic or not.
I just want to torture Jammer, so of course I said yes.
So, if you have any thoughts on the length of the show we should do, ReaperCast at GrimReaperGamers.com.
Or if you're interested in being on the ReaperCast.
Or taking over for the host.
What's the email?
ReaperCast at GrimReaperGamers.com.
That's a mouthful.
And put the subject, Johnny, your prayers have been answered.
Most of the emails are going to come in. I'm sorry, they're going to say 0 minutes.
0 minutes. I want my hour and a half back.
Answer.
I want my hour and a half back.
All right, John, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, all right, let's go to the clan hype and close the show out. I want to welcome new members of the clan. We've had a few more new members show up off the Xbox clubs. You were saying, Jack, that the Xbox clubs have been people in.
I've been putting all the events in the Xbox club. So if you go to our Xbox club, Green River Gamers, in there, you'll see all the events. I open up to the public, but I state that they have to have, membership to be part of it. And we're getting a lot of hits off of that. We actually got, I think, about like 5 or 6 people this week, maybe more. The other thing is we've cleaned up our SEO for the site, and we're getting hits from Google. People Google mature gamers, and they find the site, which I don't know how they find our site for mature gamers, but
it's still broken.
So something's wrong there, but I'm not fixing it. But we're getting a lot of hits. Those are panning out really well for us.
Yeah, I want to call out Breacher and Enter F123. I think there's 2 of the newer dudes that have been kind of active or whatever.
Yep.
So you better be fucking listening to this, or guess what? You're no more.
No-
Sorry.
No
Sayonara.
gold star.
No gold star for you. So there. Now I did my part. Good night.
All right. So next show will be recorded in 2 weeks. Tentative date we have is 5/23, although we're still trying to figure out a few schedules there. So you'll get a new show in your hands in 2 weeks. So
Weekly, right?
somewhere in that week of the 23rd.
Sometime.
Once again, the email address is reapercast@grimreapergamers.com. There, I brought it up again. Our Facebook page is facebook.com/grimreapergamers. Jammer, hit me with the Twitter.
It's grgamers.com. Spell out the .dot.
Awesome. For someone who messed it up last week or last
Well,
show.
Because I was hosting. I was supposed to have somebody else do it.
I give this to you every damn week or every damn show. I ask you to hit me with the Twitter, and the 1 week it's all yours. You blew it.
Yeah. I should never host again.
Fired. Promoted.
All right, and also we are on Twitch, twitch.tv/GrimReaperGamers, and beam.pro. That's also /GrimReaperGamers, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Sounds good.
So, really been picking up the streaming game lately too. So we have at least 2 or 3 people on each site streaming our community nights on Wednesdays, and I've been hitting up Twitch every time we have an event I'm attending. So throughout the week Monday night was the last one I streamed last night. Streamed over the weekend as well, or before the weekend. I didn't game over the weekend. Like Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So plenty of streaming going on if you want to see what GRG is all about. So want to thank everybody for listening. Remember to hit subscribe on your method of choice for getting our show, whether it's Stitcher or TuneIn or YouTube or right off the website. Hit the subscribe on all our methods for
Subscribing.
getting the show. iTunes, Google Play, you name it. We're out there everywhere. So, and check out videos on twitch.tv, Grim Reaper Gamers, and youtube.com/Grim Reaper Gamers for highlight videos. And check out our past shows, especially episode 10, through YouTube.
What
13 minutes in.
13 minutes in. Classic.
All right. So, Jack, Jammer, thanks for being on. May have some surprises for the upcoming shows here in the next 6-7 weeks. So stay tuned for that. For Jack and Jammer, this is Johnny Hustler saying so long, stay safe, and never game alone.